Hello, my name is Andrea Kilgo, and I would like to discuss for you three of the parenting styles. I like to start off with letting you know three things that I'm going to talk about so that you will be able to notice them when they come about. One thing I'm going to talk about is reinforcement. And what I mean by this is the parents rewarding the children when they do a good job or when they do things they're supposed to do, just like a pat on the back. Then I'm going to talk about extinction. And what I mean by this is non-physical punishment, as in taking away things from the children, taking away video games, taking away cell phones or technology, not allowing them to go out to play, different forms of discipline that are not physical. And then we're going to talk about punishment, which is physical discipline. We will start out with the authoritarian parenting style. In this parenting style, it is described as being very autocratic, very militant, very harsh, very strict style of parenting. It is usually a one-way communication, that is, parents speak, children obey. In this parenting style, reinforcement is low. There is no reinforcement for a job well done. Kids do good, but they are not compensated for it. The extinction in this parenting style is also low. They are not willing to take away things from the children for not doing well and things like that and for being disobedient, but instead, it's always goes straight to the punishment, the physical punishment, which is usually a good butt whipping, as we country folk like to call it. But this type of parenting style is, like I said, very strict. It's a harsh lifestyle for children. The parents are focusing more on the behavior of the children rather than the nurturing relationship between themselves and the children. They don't spend much time with the children in this parenting style. There are low levels of love, there's low levels of nurturing, and there is no open affection. There are excessive rules and maturity demands, which leads to the increased punishment in most of the children. It is a very excessive structure. What I mean by that is that, the father is the father, the mother is the mother, and the children are the children. Everybody knows their place in the household, and they operate in such. And there are harsh punishment for stepping outside of those boundaries. And in this parenting style, they expect a lot out of their children. The children are expected to accomplish goals. They are expected to overexceed. They're expected to do things more so than other children in other parenting styles, as we will talk about later. And before I get off of this parenting style, I like to let you know that for authoritarian children, they begin in their early stages, birth to 6 months old, as very good as far as behavior is concerned. And this usually is consistent, maybe just a little less, but consistent throughout each developmental stage. But we see a pretty good drop by the time they're 15 to 18. And what happens is, because the emphasis has been on behavior, these children are very mature, they're very hardworking, they have good people skills. However, they have low socialization skills. And for females, they are more likely to become depressed and filled with anxiety. And for the males, they are more likely to have light substance abuse issues. And the culture that we associate mostly with authoritarian parenting styles is Asians and Native Americans. On this opposite side of that scale is the authoritarian parenting style. Now, this parenting style is a bit more balanced. Okay, it is a two-way communication parenting style. It is more democratic. It is more even. And what I mean by that is more than one person is making the decisions in this parenting style. Where dad may be a little more authoritative, authoritarian, mom may be a little more authoritative. So it puts a balance in the house, okay? And the children are also here very well mannered. They're very obedient for the most part. But however, children will be children and they do get out of line sometimes. But what we find in authoritative, parenting styles is that the reinforcement is high. These parents in this style like to reward the children for a job well done. They believe in rewarding and complimenting the children. When you make an A, good job, I'm proud of you. Continue to let the children know that they love them, that they're proud of them. They're very affectionate in this type parenting style. There's hugs, there's kisses, there's affection, public displays of affection that goes along with this parenting style. And extinction as well in this parenting style is very high. When the children do something wrong, rather than go straight to punishment, which is the next section that I'll talk about, instead of going to that, they'll start with maybe, well, you can't watch TV today. Or, I'm going to take your skateboard, I'm going to take your video game, or you're not able to go to the movies on Saturday. They use other forms of punishment rather than physical punishment, which brings me to physical punishment for this parenting style. It is very low. They have very low levels of punishment, and this is usually a last resort. They will exhaust all other means of punishment before they resort to physical punishment. They are very, they emphasize relationship as well as behavior. They want well-behaved children, but they also want their children to know that they are loved and feel loved and be nurtured from their parents. They spend lots of times with their children. They have a two-way communication. They're very high in love and nurturing. And their rules are moderate, and so are their maturity demands. And when it comes to their children as they grow, here in this parenting style, we notice they start out pretty average with their children, birth to 6 months. They're pretty average. But what we've noticed is, as these children age and mature, they get better. They end up actually a better adult than the authoritarian style parenting child has become. And I think that's due to the emphasis being on both the behavior and the socialization and relationship boundaries. These children turn out to be very mature, very hardworking. They have good socialization skills. They are the lowest when it comes to divorce rates. They are lowest when it comes to mental health concerns. And they are the lowest when it comes to substance abuse. And they continue throughout their adulthood. So this is a very good parenting style for those that are searching for parenting styles. Of course, you have to weigh the adults in the house and who they are and how they like to do things, because you can have parenting styles that can possibly clash. But in authoritative parenting styles, and this is under the assumption that at least one of the parents are authoritative and the other may or may not be authoritarian or permissive, but the authoritative parent kind of balances it out. The last parenting style I like to talk about is going to be the permissive parenting style. This parenting style is what we mostly see in America. It is characterized by no rules. There's hardly any governing of the children. They're more laissez-faire or lax, very unstructured. And as well, there's a two-way communication, but ultimately ends up one way, and that's with the child winning through the communication. This is the majority of Americans. Unfortunately, reinforcement in this parenting style is high. Children are given unearned gifts, presents, rewards all the time. They don't earn them. They just get them because it's the new thing. In this parenting style, you see 40, 50-year-old kids who has parents are still making excuses for them. And, we can't judge, but that's just who they are. Their extinction is very low, as well as their punishment. There is no non-physical punishment. They're not taking things away from the kids. And on the flip side of that, they're trying to give more to the kids. And for punishment, no. Little to no punishment. Their emphasis here is on relationship, not on behavior. Now, they do spend lots of time with their children. They take them out. They want to be their friend. There are high levels of love and affection. They love them. They're cool with them. They're cool with their friends and all of that. So, there's few to no rules. There's no expectation of maturity. There's no expectation of them doing better or growing up to be better. And when it comes to the results, at the end of the day, as far as they are as adults, they are some of the most lazy children in the world, and they think the world owes them something. They start out with their behavior. If you watch children of the same age as the children from permissive, you will see the difference in their behavior. A lot of times, they're the ones that like to throw the tantrums because they're so used to getting their way and having things the way that they want it. They're used to mom saying yes, yes, and yes, that they can't accept a no, which they hardly ever get anyway. But the children in this parenting style usually ends up very likable people, very, very likable children. But they have the highest substance abuse. They have the highest rates of divorce, and they have the highest rates of mental health disorders and diseases. So I hope that was helpful to you, and I hope you're able to distinguish between the parenting styles. And have a good day.